So, son, it is a shame what has gone on in the world of YouTube this past couple weeks. Is it ironic? Maybe. For those of you who don't know, there's a YouTuber named sniperwolf with three S's, and she just got in big doo doo because she went to another YouTuber's house, jacksfilms or whatever, and posted his address and house to her millions of followers on Instagram. Obviously, some would say this is stalking, and I'm not going to touch much on it because there's plenty of other videos, plenty of other top creators who are talking about it. So they have their opinion and whatever. I do think it's funny that I was lambasted at the stake 5 months ago for showing up to Mr. Beast's town, um, and not doing anything else other than just being in the same city as him, which is what everyone in LA does. Everyone goes to LA and tries to run into somebody. But I digress. Okay. But I want to talk more about the sad reality of negative content and the impact of negative content on on just our industry, you could call it. The truth is, people feed off that junk and get bored when there's nothing going on. People want to see other people doing stupid, mean, and terrible things, and they especially want to hear other people talk about those stupid, dumb, terrible things. And for some reason, we just eat that up. Now, this could also be said in mainstream media. I think we know that to be a fact, mainstream media does this on purpose. Mainstream media pushes the negative, pushes the horrible things around the world, because if it bleeds, it leads. That's the whole thing. Like, we get better viewership, we get better ratings if we're reporting on the awful things that are happening in this world. And when we do that, we are actually accidentally brainwashing our friends, family, citizens, you might call it, to think negatively on the world, to have a negative outlook on the world. And it's extremely sad because it is awful what is going on with Sniper Wolf. But it is interesting to me that I'm pointing out, and this is what I'm hopefully pointing out, is how much people are eating this stuff up. People are hungry for it. People are hungry to hate on someone else. And that is very sad. Should this be something that we stop? Absolutely. But I also, I want to say that it's terrible, like I've said already. So we have that out of the way. Okay, we're not even going to talk about it anymore. Because what I want to lean into is the positive content, positivity content, the good things that are happening in the world of YouTube, in the world of being a creator. Those things are rarely talked about. Rarely. You might see a viral video do really well about how this disabled man is helping the local handicap department or something. I don't know, right? You might see that occasionally. But for some reason, we as humans just love the negative. And why I say this is because in your own creator journey and in my own creator journey, it could be tempting to keep this in mind, to use that. I think Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and a lot of other mainstream YouTubers all understand this. And they are okay with being hated by people for an extended period of time if it means, in the long run, being more famous, having more notoriety in the long run. And I just want to encourage you that that doesn't have to be the case for you. I don't know who needs to hear this. Maybe I'm talking to myself, but I remember, not to bring it up again, but in June, whenever I was, Mr. Beast, everyone was talking about it, right? Everyone was really annoyed and hated me for showing up in Greenville and called me a stalker. They called me a terrible human being. I had people telling me to do certain things to myself in the DMs and then blocking me so that way I couldn't respond to them. Sorry, I want to make sure I say this correctly. But after all of this happened, I had a choice to make. I either told myself, I'm like, okay, you can go one of two directions. You can lean into this, go back, stalk him some more. Not that I was, but like actually do something crazy. Someone even sent me the address to his building. So I could have shown up at his office if I wanted to. Part of me wanted to double down, get really loud and obnoxious, tell people that they're wrong, like fight back with the knowledge that I'm going to get more and more famous because people are going to be talking about me. I had a lot of YouTubers talking about the situation, and if I had kept going with it, if I had kept pushing, if I had kept being, I could have made a lot more noise around it, and continued that storyline even further. I could either do that, or I could slink back into my cave and realize I don't want to become popular or mainstream or well known for being that. I do not want that to be associated with me. A negative interaction. I don't want that. And I don't want to be known as someone who uses the name of other people for my own success. I don't want to be known as anything. I realize all that mattered is it doesn't matter how long it takes. I will much rather make a name for myself on my own in a positive way with people who like hearing me, like watching me, who feel connected with me. I would much rather spend another 3 years working on building that up than jump starting myself up to having a huge audience of people who hate me in a small to medium-sized audience that likes me. I didn't want to take that approach. That's like the Andrew Tate approach. There's been a lot of people the Donald Trump approach. They all have their own thing, and I just don't want to do that. And so, I think a lot of people have that, and you might not experience it in your life. You might not have that moment where you have to make that decision, but I had to make that decision. I had that moment. My apologies. And I think Sniper Wolf is a completely different scenario. And my wife's home. So this video is about to end. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.